All right, friends, a few more problems we're going to do, and the rest of the notes will be yours for homework. For problem 2, part A, we're asked to graph 2, comma, pi over 6, and then name 3 other points that represent the same point. So remember that this is your r, this is your theta, and again, I'm going to take my highlighter and highlight the axes. Now, to graph 2 pi over 6, we'll go to pi over 6, where it normally used to be. Remember, we're going to have to go up one more, and then we're going to go towards that angle 2 units up. Now, that is the representation of 2 comma pi over 6. But the 3 other points that we can get from this use the idea of coterminal angles. What we could do is we could think about this angle going in the positive direction, but we can also name that same angle in the negative direction. So keeping r the same, think about if we were to name the coterminal angle to this, it would be negative 11 pi over 6. So these should be coterminal. So in other words, just subtract 2 pi. Now, if we want to find 2 other names for this point, we can also change the r value. Now, remember, if we change the r value, we just need to think about an angle that it would be on the opposite side of this angle right here, of pi over 6. So if I could name that angle and then use a negative r value, it'll also take me to the same point. So think about some names for the other side of this angle, and we know that this is also 7 pi over 6. But then think about what's coterminal to 7 pi over 6. We can also call that negative 5 pi over 6. So these would be coterminal as well. Now, you'll do part B for your homework, but to write some rules to make this process easier, basically, if you ever have an r, comma, theta, and you want to keep r the same, so same r value, you're going to take the theta that's given, and you can add or subtract 360 infinitely many times to get many different representations of that point. Now, keep in mind, if you are in radian mode, that's the same thing as 2 pi. If you want to come up with other points that have the opposite r value, you need to think about what is on the opposite side of that angle. So you're going to take the angle, just like what we do with tangent, and you are going to add or subtract 180 degrees or pi radians. Word.